Hi, my name is Joel, and this is my favorite Mai Tai.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of My Favorite Mai Tai. And today on this episode, we are going to have my good buddy Joel's Mai Tai. And the interesting thing is I'm looking at your list of ingredients here. You have not only 2 ounces, you have 2 rums, you have 4.
I have 4 rums.
So I'm curious to see, and look at
And
this.
a very dark orgeat.
Where'd you buy this at?
I'll explain it.
You'll explain it.
I will.
And, I am curious to see what this Mai Tai is all about. So, Joel's a good friend of ours. He was actually on the first couple episodes of Welcome to Rum.
That's right.
So, this guy knows a little bit about rums and cocktails.
I've come a long way since the first episode, that's for sure.
You were well past Bacardi in Malibu.
Yeah. We all work out together, and then afterwards we always end up drinking, and he makes us cocktails. So I have full confidence in you, my friend.
Sometimes we sit around watching gladiator movies.
No, we don't. Joel, what do we got going on here?
Well, I also like to use the VIX 44 template as kind of the traditional Mai Tai, what people know of as a Mai Tai.
Yeah.
Obviously there's a lot of variety and a lot of different things that you can do. I try to stick to that basic template of around 2 ounces of rum, some lime, some orange syrup, some kind of orgeat. Just the basic thing. I like mine a little bit, I think, funkier maybe than you typically do, not quite as sweet.
Well, I guess a Mai Tai, if you're using Jamaican rum, should be funky to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But you like yours funky.
I do.
Okay.
I love that Jamaican rum flavor. And so I have 3 different Jamaican rums here as well.
Yeah, you do.
As well as a little bit of a Demerara rum. We're going to try just to add a little bit of kind of that molasses caramel flavor. To start, I use, obviously, lime juice. I like mine a little bit more tart. Typically, depending on how sour the lime is, I'll use, usually my typical amount is about 3/4 ounce. If it's really, really sour, I'll dial that back, potentially down to about half an ounce.
Yeah.
If it's a little weak, I'll go up to an ounce, but 3/4 is kind of the standard.
Yeah.
For my orange liqueur, I'm using Cointreau this time. It's another orange flavored, brandy based liqueur. Frankly, in my opinion, it's interchangeable with Pierre Ferrand. Very similar. Maybe not quite as light. Maybe a little bit orangier.
So you think it's got a stronger orange flavor?
It's a little bit bitter orange as opposed to just the Pierre Ferrand's very light.
Do you think it makes any difference in the mouthfeel? Like, is it
it's such a small amount because again, I'm going to be using a 1/4 ounce here.
Right.
I am curious to see how this is going to taste, because my fear with like using Cointreau or even like the Creole Shrub, it almost becomes too orange flavor.
Yeah, it's like I said.
But we'll see though.
We're talking about a 1/4 ounce. It's really, you lose that in the ice. There's really not that much flavor. For my orgeat, I'm actually using a homemade macadamia nut orgeat.
Oh, macadamia nut.
Yeah, something a little different. Just a little something that and it's dark like that because I used a blend of white sugar and a turbinado sugar. So the turbinado sugar is has some of that molasses in it. It's a brown sugar, basically. So it's a little half and half. And let's see, I'm going to be using as my base rum is Jamaica, the Plantation. I think it's just
great rum.
A great all-around Jamaican rum. Fantastic flavor. Not too distinct, not overpowering, but it's definitely Jamaican in that it has that whatever it is that makes a Jamaican rum, Jamaican rum, it's got that in spades. It's delicious. We're going to be using some Appleton Estate 12. I'm going to use half ounce of that. That is again one of my favorite Jamaican rums. I think it's not offensive. It's not overpowering.
It's very smooth but flavorful.
It's smooth. You could step it back to the signature. That's what I would normally be using here, which is also a very good work rum. Similar flavor profile, just not quite as refined, but great in a Mai Tai. But we have it, so we're going to use it. And then we're going to use a half ounce of El Dorado 5, which is again a Demerara rum from Ghana. It's it's got a little bit of that brown sugar flavor.
Yeah, a little more caramelized, a little more earthy.
And that's just to kind of have some fun, add a little depth to the drink. And then we're going to go with a topper, 1/4 ounce of the white overproof Ray and Nephew Jamaican rum, which is a very, very strong, powerful, distinctive flavor. You don't want to go heavy on this. A little bit goes a long way in this, but it really just kind of adds a little something extra to me, in my opinion, to this drink.
But after it's all said and done, with the 4 different rums you're going to use, it all adds up to 2 ounces of rum.
It's going to be 2 1/4 ounces.
2 1/4 ounces.
2 1/4 ounces. Yeah, we're doing a float with the Ray and Nephew.
Awesome.
So you're giving 125%.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to try this Mai Tai.
Okay.
Well, let's make this happen.
All right, let's mix it up.
Here we go.
All right, so let's get ready to make my favorite Mai Tai. First things first, I like to, when preparing my shaker, I like to use thicker, chunkier ice. I don't want to use the pebble ice because I want it to dilute, and the pebble ice has a tendency to dilute a little bit faster. So this will get it cold without diluting quite so much at the outset. I like the drink to dilute in the glass. So first things first, we're going to start with the 3/4 ounce of lime juice. We're moving on to the 1/4 ounce of Cointreau, the orange liqueur. We're going to be using 1/2 ounce, which is a little more than usual that you would use for your orgeat. I think the recipe calls for 1/4 ounce traditionally. I like having a little bit more of the actual flavor as opposed to using a simple for the second 1/4 ounce. So I use a full 1/2 ounce of that. And again, we're using 1 ounce, the base rum of the Jamaica. And we're moving over here to the Appleton Estate 12-year, 1/2 ounce of that. 1/2 ounce of the El Dorado 5-year. And last but not least, the 1/4 ounce of the Ray and Nephew overproof rum. All right, and from here, we're going to dump these. We're going to shake like 15 seconds. Earthquake. All right, from there, we've got a glass full of the pebble ice, which again is superior. You want to use that if you have the option. My second choice is crushed ice out of the freezer. You don't want to use blocked ice. It just doesn't dilute the same way. So rather than doing a dirty dump, I like to strain here so we don't get that cross-contamination. Fill it up. And we're going to use the traditional 1/2 ounce of this, or excuse me, half spent lime. And the mint. I like to crush the mint up, get the oils flowing a little bit, bring the odors out, the scent. And there we have it. This is my favorite Mai Tai.
And we're back.
All right, well, here's my favorite Mai Tai. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, I am really curious to taste this because I'm going to see. I'm curious to see if all those rums play well together. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I'm curious how they're going to work together because so I've had El Dorado 12 in a Mai Tai before, but I was someplace where they did not really have a good choice of rums, and that was the one I spotted that I knew I liked.
Yeah, and for sure, you could go up the shelf. In fact, typically I would probably be using, in my day-to-day Mai Tai drinking, I'd be using the lower shelf products.
Yeah.
Obviously, you get something that's a little higher up on the shelf, it's going to taste a little bit better, and it's going to be a better product. But this does the job.
Well, what I'm saying is I've tasted an El Dorado rum by itself in there, but I have not this particular. I don't think I've ever had this particular blend. So yeah, kind of excited.
Yeah.
Here we go. Salute.
Here's to you, Joe. As I reckon, you're the glue.
All right.
Yeah, there's plenty going on there.
That is a lot smoother.
You were expecting more things to jump out at?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be harsh. I thought it was going to have a lot of bite to it, and it's actually really smooth, really subtle.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I like with the Ray and Nephew is
it's cloudy. Yours is
does.
definitely more cloudy with the orgeat.
Yeah.
Macadamia nut orgeat.
Macadamia nut orgeat. Yeah.
Can you taste that in it, Jason?
I'm trying to play because as I'm letting it sit for a moment there, I'm getting different flavors, and I'm trying to place them.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a huge difference between an traditional almond orgeat and the macadamia nut.
I would think I would like macadamia nut better because I do like macadamia nuts better.
That was my thought when I was making that.
There's a there's a little bit of a bite at the very back end of it, like a real. But it's great. This is awesome.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
smoother than I thought it was going to be.
It's very smooth. It is complex. Not nearly as sweet as the last Mai Tais we shared together.
Would you say this is funky? Because I don't think it's that funky.
There's a little bit of funk and more of a warmth to it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that I add that little quarter ounce of Ray and Nephew at the top is because it's a very funky rum. You know, it's got. I mean, if it doesn't take a whole lot to make a big difference. To
Yeah,
make a
I'm
real
a
impression.
big fan of putting a small amount of.
How much
Cointreau
Cointreau
in.
was in it?
It was the traditional quarter ounce.
Quarter ounce.
Yeah,
it
quarter ounce
doesn't-
Cointreau.
It doesn't bounce out, so that's good. I thought it was going to, because a lot of times when I've tried Mai Tais where you use something like an orange liqueur like that, it usually tastes very orangey. But this
I
doesn't.
think Cointreau's a little less offensive than say like your cheap triple sec and things like that that are just like
Combier or Grand Marnier.
right, just over the top with the orange flavor, chemical almost. It still tastes like a natural orange flavor to me.
This definitely, I will say this. This definitely tastes stronger than mine. I can taste the alcohol more. Like I can definitely. Mine is an easy drink. Like that went down easy, but there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more.
I like it a little tartar and a little heavier.
Is
I
it?
enjoyed your Mai Tai, but your Mai Tai was a little light for my taste.
Yeah, this has a little bit more, as you would say, bang pow.
yeah. It's got a little oomph on the end.
But not overpowering though. I honestly think the drink was going to be more stronger than it is, but it's unbelievably balanced. So great job, Joel.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the magic of the Mai Tai. It's just a great structure to put rums into and see what
Right.
they
If
do.
you stick to those proportions, you're generally going to come out pretty good, I think. No matter what you put in there, it's going to be drinkable.
And that's why I have a hard time making the same Mai Tai more than a few times.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because there's always like, well, what will this one do? Yeah.
And that's the reason why I started this series, because even with we're all kind of working off the 44 recipe, but I'm excited to go down this journey, and like maybe there is someone that's like, you know what, I want to make a Hawaiian Mai Tai or an island Mai Tai. Okay, let's do it. Let's try it. Let's go have a round of it. And anyone out there, if you're interested in coming on the show, we'll come over and drink your Mai Tais. So
I'll be happy to help. I'll take another for the team.
We'll travel near and far. We'll go long distances for booze. Joel, thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for making us these Mai Tais.
No problem. Thank you,
Much
Ray.
appreciated. Well done.
Want to support the Tiki with Ray show and look cool doing it at the same time? Then head over to tikiwithray.com and buy yourself a Tiki with Ray shirt. They're only $20. Tony Canepa did the design, and they're screen printed in America. You know what's interesting, Joel?
No, I do not. I know nothing. I know nothing.